Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 14th of December going through until Sunday the 20th of December 2020. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to give you a rundown of what's going on this week and how the astrology is going to influence you. Starting with Monday the 14th of December, we've got a really significant event happening. We have a total solar eclipse. If you're in South America, make sure you watch out for this. These eclipses are really magical events. The sun is totally blacked out, so the light changes, and it's really a wonderful experience. Have a look at that. And it's also a new moon in Sagittarius. It happens at 16 minutes past 4 in the afternoon, and that's based on UK time. I've made a separate video on the eclipse, so if you want more details, have a look at that video. I go into a lot of depth there. And also, if you're born around this time of the year, it's really going to be something significant that you want to be aware of. Eclipses influence us for about 6 months, but also if you're born around this time of year, it's your solar return, then it's going to influence you for the next 12 months, for the next year ahead. So on Monday as well, we've got the Sagittarius moon sitting right on top of Mercury, the communication planet, in Sagittarius, and it forms a positive trine with Mars and Aries. We've got loads of fire here, the communication planet in the sign of the Centaur galloping ahead. We've got Mars, the masculine planet of drive and what you want and sexuality. In the sign it rules Aries, giving you a lot of energy and drive too. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is in the ultra-sensitive, intuitive kind of almost X-ray vision like sign of Scorpio, because it's able to unearth hidden things, and that forms a sextile with the lucky planet Jupiter in Capricorn. And finally, Mercury, the communication planet in Sagittarius, also forms a relationship with Mars and Aries. So there's a lot going on Monday other than the eclipse. The new moon and the eclipse give you amazing access to your own personal power, and it's almost like you get your personal power back. If you have found it difficult to make decisions or to plan ahead, you're really going to experience this major boost here on Monday, and you'll feel that it's all available to you now, and not just the power to plan ahead, but also to act on your plans. You can also face unresolved issues that would usually scare you. You can look at those and engage with them. You have the stamina and patience to really have a look and to see what is it that you ought to be doing. And you can commit to working through them. So if there's any day where you have a lot of courage, Monday the 14th is it. You're brave, you're able to face things which may be uncomfortable or even scary. And if there are things in your life that you've put off or that you feel are completely overwhelming or even insurmountable, you have no control over them, look at them on Monday the 14th and revisit those. Your perspective will really have changed, and you'll look at those things and say, hey, actually this isn't so intolerable. There is hope. I can do something about this. So it's an amazing way to start the week. Tuesday the 15th of December, we've got the moon going into Capricorn at 3:36 in the morning. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's the sign of the little mountain goat getting to the top. It's about work. It's ruled by Saturn, structure and security. So with the moon making this shift into Capricorn, you're going to think much more along the lines of what grounds me, what is secure, what can I control, what provides me with structure and safety in my life. So it's much more serious. Venus goes into Sagittarius, that's the opposite, so it goes out of Scorpio, this really intense sign, and it moves into Sagittarius, the Centaur, and it's now love. Where can I find love? How can I gallop and explore and look at the world and discover things that thrill me and excite me? Also on Tuesday, big day here, Chiron, the wounded healer, goes direct. So it starts to move forward again. So on Tuesday, all these planets combine to give you a real focus about your work and getting on with work and seeing what you can do about your current circumstances. Money isn't going to seem like much of an obstacle. Instead, you start to look at it as a tool to help you get what you want. So spending money to make money isn't going to seem like this scary thing. It's really much more calm when it comes to your finances and how you can use money to actually change the landscape of your life. Taking risks becomes exciting and something that fills you with enthusiasm. So you still got that courage and bravery, but you actually feel good about things now. So anxiety is reduced, and therefore make sure that the risks you take are reasonable and you aren't putting yourself in situations where you're overly confident and you're setting yourself up to fail. That's really unlikely with Venus in Sagittarius, but taking it, when taking risks becomes something that you enjoy doing, just make sure that you don't put yourself into difficult situations. On Wednesday, the 16th of December, Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn, security, structure, buildings, safety, following the rules, feeling like you have a sense of what's ahead and you have an understanding of what's going on around you, that moves into Aquarius. So Saturn in Aquarius is much more focused on how you can take the inner structures and how you can share them with other people in a humanitarian way. The moon is in Capricorn and conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, so the planet of transformation and change connects with the moon, and you'll be able to look at your circumstances and say, hey, this isn't set in stone, this is really pliable, I can do loads with this. It also conjuncts Jupiter in Capricorn, it squares Mars in Aries, and it sextiles Neptune in Pisces. So we've really got a lot of energy on Wednesday. We've got Aquarius, air, your ideas, your thoughts, decision making. We've got all this Capricorn saying work, 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 get busy, get grounded. We've got Mars and Aries saying your needs are the most important. And Neptune and Pisces is kind of, dream and think about what's unmanifest and what do your ancestors and your guides say. So it's a real mixed bag and you may feel somewhat conflicted. With all of this, you stop being so focused on the physical exclusively and you're not just interested in structures. You become more interested in ideas and how you can structure your ideas effectively. So rather than the shape of what your actual life looks like, you're trying to give some shape and form to what you're thinking. So ironically, this shift in focus means you're able to act in ways that actually alter your practical circumstances significantly. So whereas before you were pushing to make changes, now you pull the focus away from that and you're actually thinking about new ideas. That then has a nice roundabout effect on your circumstances, and that's usually the way it works. If you're overly focused on something, even to the point of obsession, you kind of squeeze the life out of it. And when you back off a little bit sometimes, things just have this room to breathe and to flourish on their own. So on Wednesday, energy is high, but you may be a little bit short-sighted with the Neptune influence. So make sure your ideas are structured and accurate before you act. So research and getting things right is something that you should spend a little bit of time doing rather than rushing off into things and regretting it later. On Thursday, the 17th of December, the moon shifts again. It's now moving into Aquarius at 6:28 in the morning, and the Aquarius moon then sits on Saturn in Aquarius, so they are conjunct. It sextiles Venus in Sagittarius and Chiron in Aries, and finally it squares Uranus in Taurus. So when the moon forms this many connections with outer planets, personal planets, asteroids, it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So on Thursday, you're going to be inspired in your ideas and you're going to feel very charitable. So there's like this dam opening of ideas. They will just flood you and you will be inspired and think about things in a completely original way. More importantly though, you actually have the energy to follow up on your ideas and to follow with real action. So get your notepad out on Thursday and jot down flashes of insight that you have, because they're really going to serve you well in future. Friday the 18th of December, we've got the Aquarius moon forming a sextile with Mars in Aries. So the desire to be of service to other people is now strongly coupled with this personal drive of getting ahead. So you're thinking along two separate lines. You're thinking of how this can benefit you and how it can benefit the public. And that is a really nice balance, because if you're doing something valuable for the public, then usually it affects you positively in your own personal life. The Aquarius moon also forms a sextile with Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is the communication planet, remember, and in Sagittarius it's literally on fire. It's all about finding new ideas and looking at original content or coming up with your own content, connecting with the unmanifest and higher beings, and really being inspired to think about things in a positive, enthusiastic, and really original way. So you're able to travel intellectually, so your mind really expands and opens up, and ideas that you thought were so correct and on point may be reevaluated and replaced with new ideas. So all of that means that you could become a little bit giddy on Friday and even overly excited. Optimism is going to be at an all-time high. If you're in a spiritual crisis, asking for help and guidance is going to bring you the answers that you've been looking for. So it's a really good day to connect, to try and contain the giddiness, and to spend a moment talking to your higher self in meditation or doing yoga or qigong or swimming or whatever it is you do to get into that zone. It's really going to fill you with a sense of, I can do this. I don't understand everything yet, but I've got the confidence that I'll be able to move through it, that I'll be able to handle this, and that I can move forward with my life. Saturday, the 19th of December, the moon goes into Pisces at 12:40 in the afternoon, so 40 minutes past noon. And the moon in Pisces is very sensitive, it's intuitive, it's connected to the higher realms. The lucky planet Jupiter goes into Aquarius, so that's huge. That's going to stay in Aquarius for a while. And Jupiter is about growth and expansion, so your ideas get even bigger and bigger and bigger, more original content. The sun in Sagittarius sits on top of the communication planet Mercury in Sagittarius. Can you see a theme here? Communication, things getting bigger, rushing off, learning new things. It's very different to last week, which was really ruled by Neptune, and that kind of heightened your emotional being. It gave you huge intuitive insights, but it could have also brought up real doubt and anxiety. And this is replaced this week by all this fire and optimism and Aquarius coming in and saying, think about the world on a large scale and think about yourself and what you can learn and teach and other people and how you can interact with them. It's really much more peppy. The pace picks up a lot and your personal levels of confidence are just through the roof. The Pisces moon also sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So listening to your feelings can have a really significant effect on your real life and your tangible circumstances. And it squares Venus in Sagittarius. So this is interesting because we've got all these elements, but the moon in Pisces really recaptures that ability to communicate with the most secret, innermost hidden part of you. And it means that anything about yourself that you don't understand or that feels hidden suddenly makes sense and comes to the surface. Venus in Sagittarius also forms a trine with Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer. So rushing off and doing things on a whim may not work out very well because it could cause you some pain and you could experience some rejection. So make sure that before you really take charge and do everything your way, that you've thought things through and that you're not just winging it without having all the facts. So on Saturday, you accept that things are not in your control and you find it easy to let go. The future is going to seem full of new opportunities. If you've been sending hundreds of job applications and you're losing hope, I know it's a Saturday, but look at the job boards again and apply for jobs. You will have a sense of, I can do this, even if things haven't been perfect. You may want to travel or connect with friends. And like I said, rushing into situations and committing long-term without having all the facts are big no-nos on Saturday. Try and live in the moment or in the day and really just enjoy what you've got in your life on Saturday without projecting or without doing things in a kind of half-baked way. It's not going to pay off. Finally, on Sunday the 20th, Mercury goes into Capricorn. So the communication planet now in Capricorn also becomes much more serious, and it's asking you to think about the actuals in your life, the practical circumstances that are going on right now and what you can do to structure them more effectively. It may make you a little bit stern. It may be seriousness in the sense that everything seems much more important than it really is. The Pisces moon lifts that a little bit because it conjuncts Neptune in Pisces, so the emotional strength is still there and it connects you with the bigger picture. And even though you are a little bit more focused on your finances or your security in your real life, the moon and Neptune still allow you to dream and to see things as surmountable, and that you don't need to be limited by what's going on in your life at the moment. Venus in Sagittarius continues to bring the optimism and the fun, and that quincunxes Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and the unexpected, in Taurus. So your thinking does become more serious, and you do focus on work and security. You may start to put some pressure on yourself. So if you do that, just lay off. You're not going to be more effective by hammering yourself. Connect with that inner side of you that loves you and that allows you to act from a place of contentment and happiness. It's going to have a better outcome anyway. At the same time, you may be incredibly sensitive on Sunday and uncertain about the way forward. And when there is such a big dichotomy between the way you feel, it can be a little bit irritating, and your fuse may get a bit short because you're not that certain of yourself. Finding something you enjoy and devoting yourself to that is going to bring about unexpected results because of this Uranus influence. So usually with the law of attraction, like begets like. So if you're having fun and you're doing something just because you gain pleasure from it, and there's this unexpected outcome that's floating around in the atmosphere, it's really likely to be a positive outcome because you approach this situation with a sense of positivity and you're doing it from an authentic place. How can I enjoy myself? So it looks like a much lighter week than the week before. I hope you really do some things that you enjoy and that you get your confidence back and your feeling of personal power. Have a wonderful week. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Readings to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I'll speak to you next week.